Our topic right now is going to be alcohol. Alcohol is considered a depressant. When we look at the drug classifications, it would fall in that category. And the reason it's a depressant is because it slows down and impairs the central nervous system. So how alcohol does this is first it affects the forebrain right here in the front, and it assaults the motor coordination and your decision making. So it's going to shut down that area first. Then it's going to go to your midbrain. And this is where all of your emotions are rendered, and so you're going to start to lose control over that, and that's why you may hear of people really getting angry or getting very emotional. And also this is where there's an increase of chance of blackout as this area starts to shut down. And finally, alcohol affects the brainstem, which is your heart rate, your body temperature, appetite, consciousness. And your brainstem is really in charge of your internal organs. So if that shuts down, that is not good. That can be fatal. Alcohol is considered toxic to your body. Your body doesn't like it. It recognizes it as a poison and wants to try to cleanse it from your system. So the liver is in charge of doing that cleansing. And so over time, drinking a lot of alcohol can cause long-term damage to the liver. And one example you can see here by this picture is cirrhosis. So that's a type of liver disease. And it can also cause acute damage, meaning that if you overwork the liver and abuse it, there might be just too much alcohol, and that would result in alcohol poisoning, where your liver just cannot clean it all out of your system. Why is 21 years old the legal age for drinking alcohol? I get this question a lot. Well, it really goes to the brain studies and studies about how younger people drink. So statistically, those who drink alcohol at younger ages have a higher chance of addiction because their brain is not finished developing. In fact, it's not finished developing until their early 20s. So if we can keep students, young adults, from drinking until they're older, they have less of a chance of addiction. Also, when we look at how people drink, those at younger ages tend to not handle it as responsibly, and there's a much higher case of binge drinking and alcohol poisoning at younger ages. Probably the most important concept that I really want to hit home with you guys is what is blood alcohol concentration, or BAC, B-A-C. This is the amount of alcohol in your bloodstream at the moment, at that particular moment. And there's a lot of factors that impact blood alcohol concentration, which we'll look at coming up. Police and medical personnel will use BAC to assess just how intoxicated a person is. So police would use a breathalyzer, and you can see over here is a picture of how that would look, and you would breathe into this white tube right here, and then it would pump out this number, and this would be the blood alcohol concentration. Medical personnel will generally take a sample of your blood instead, which is actually more accurate. As blood alcohol concentration increases, there is more impairment to the central nervous system. And you can see here by this chart, the lowest would be 0.01, 0.02, and then as it goes up, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05. Right now, legal limit in Pennsylvania for driving, if you're over 21, is 0.08. We can see that things are starting to get impacted, like attention span and speed control and information processing. Some factors that impact blood alcohol concentration. One would be gender. So if you're a guy compared to a female of the same size, your blood alcohol concentration will probably be a bit lower than a female of the same size. And the reason why is generally males have more muscle percentage than females. Also is how much you weigh. So if you weigh more, that will keep your blood alcohol concentration a little bit lower. How quickly you drink, so how many drinks you are consuming, that obviously would have a big factor into your blood alcohol concentration. And whether or not you have eaten. So if you have an empty stomach and you haven't eaten that much, then that alcohol is going to kind of go right through and get into your bloodstream a little bit quicker. So that would play a big part into it. When we're talking about blood alcohol concentration charts, which we're going to look at here in a minute, we need to know what one drink is. So when we look at these charts, and I'll have a visual for you, you need to keep in mind that when you're dealing with liquor, like your vodka, rum, all that kind of stuff, that is extremely high in alcohol concentration. So 1.5 ounces, a small shot glass, would be equivalent to 1 drink. A 12-ounce can of regular beer and a 5-ounce glass of table wine, that would be 1 drink. So if you're having a 16-ounce beer, that's actually more than 1 drink. So you need to keep that in mind. Females do generally reach a blood alcohol concentration level faster than males of the same weight. So females need to use a different chart. Theirs is going to be pink and guys is going to be blue. Here you can see a visual of what is 1 drink. And again, that liquor, it is definitely stronger. So 1.5 fluid ounces is going to be 1 drink. Now, if you fill the rest of this glass up with soda, again, 1 drink. If you double up the liquor, that's actually 2 drinks. 5-ounce glass of wine, not filled all the way to the top, but right about here, 5 ounces of wine is 1 drink, and 12 fluid ounces of beer or wine cooler. And here is the blood alcohol concentration chart for the guys. So guys, what you need to find is 1 drink, 3 drinks, and 5 drinks. So find your weight. I'm going to pretend, so if I was a guy, I'm almost 140 pounds, 1 drink, 0.03, 3 drinks, I'm at 0.08, which puts me at or above the legal limit, depending on what I was drinking, and 5 drinks is 0.13. And you can see down here, it reminds you of what a drink is, and it lets you know your body can get rid of 1 drink per hour, which we're going to talk about. So pause this if you need it, guys, to answer the questions. All right, ladies, here's your chart, and 1 drink for me here would be 0.03, 3 drinks, 0.10, so I'm well past the legal limit with just 3 drinks, and 5 drinks, 0.16. So again, pause this if you need to answer your questions, but make sure you find out where you are. Now, here is where we can find out, based on that blood alcohol concentration, what is happening to us. So at 3 drinks for a female, I'm at 0.10, so that puts me right here. I have significant impairment of motor coordination and loss of good judgment. I may have slurred speech, balance, vision, reaction time, and hearing will be impaired. Okay, so if I were to drink a lot more, and let's say I get down to 0.3 or 0.35, you can see here, stupor, little comprehension, I may pass out suddenly, and at 0.35, a coma is possible. This is the level of surgical anesthesia. So a lot of times if you're not careful and you drink too much, again, that liquor, it looks like just a little amount, but again, 1 shot glass is 1 drink. So how do we fix this? Only time can lower your blood alcohol concentration. So the liver works, and it's working really hard, but it can only remove about 1 drink per hour out of your bloodstream. And this generally isn't going to kick in until after you've stopped drinking. So about 45 minutes after you stop drinking, it's going to kick in and start removing that. So nothing speeds up this process. There's a lot of like wives' tales that if you take a shower, you drink some coffee, whatever. But the reality is you need time. So let's just say you go to a party and you're drinking and you have 5 drinks between midnight and 5 a.m. and then you wake up and you try to go to work at 8. You've only slept for 3 hours. You still have 2 drinks in your system. So it's something you really need to be careful about and take into consideration this rule of 1 drink per hour being removed from your system. Now, I keep talking about 0.08 being the legal limit, and this is Pennsylvania's law. In fact, most of the country, this is the law. So for a DUI, it would be 0.08 blood alcohol concentration. Now, if you're a commercial driver, it's 0.04. So if you are a truck driver or anything like that, or you drive commercially. Also, if you are driving erratically and they use a breathalyzer and you're at 0.05 or above, they could convict you of a DUI. The zero tolerance law is for minors, and this is 0.02. So regardless of whether you're just walking about at a party or if you're even driving, there's a zero tolerance of 0.02, which most of you would hit with even half of a drink or less. So what happens if you get a DUI? In Pennsylvania, we have 3 different levels, and it really depends on your blood alcohol concentration. So jail for the first time is less, but the second time is more. If it's your first offense, you may not have as many issues. They do have programs for first-time offenders that are somewhat lenient, again, depending on your blood alcohol concentration. You can get a fine anywhere from $300 to $10,000, depending, again, on your blood alcohol concentration and how many times this has happened. And the first time, it's a minimum 1-year suspension. If you're arrested again or your blood alcohol concentration is extremely high, they may suspend it longer and possibly force ignition lock on your vehicle. So not only is drinking underage illegal, but the purchase, consumption, possession, or transportation by a minor is also illegal. So it's not just drinking and being caught drinking. If you have it on you, near you, around you, they can prove you purchased it. That is also. So if you are 21 years of age, then you're able to purchase, consume, possess. But if you are not, that is going to be a penalty. It can be up to $500. You can get up to 90 days in jail, and you can get a license suspension, and generally that starts at 90 days. Now, what about supplying alcohol to minors? This is also illegal, and so the penalty starts at $1,000, so $1,000 up to $2,500. And again, depending on the situation, can be up to a year of jail time. So really not worth supplying alcohol to your minor friends when you get older.